Today, the nonpartisan Legislative Audit Division released their findings into baseless allegations that Senate President Matt Regier had done something wrong by legally contracting with outside legal counsel. I want to be clear with everyone listening about exactly what happened here. Senate President Matt Regier has been the ethics sheriff this legislative session. He's the one that blew the whistle on shady and illegal contracts entered into by the former Senate president. He's also been working to uphold the integrity of the Montana State Senate by holding a member of his own party, Senator Jason Ellsworth, accountable for his misdeeds. But not only that, President Regier is also sponsoring the bill to close the loophole in the state lottery system that special interests slipped into legislation last session. The unethical actors in this building do not like that President Regier has been holding them to account as the ethics sheriff. So Senator Jason Ellsworth and his allies planted a story full of misinformation and false innuendo in the news media to attempt to damage President Regier and take him out. They tried to shoot the sheriff and they missed. The facts clearly laid out in the legislator's auditor's report show their allegations were false and were nothing more than a slimy public relations hit piece. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Senate President Matt Regier.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. First, I want to thank the Legislative Audit Division for their diligent and thorough work through investigating not just myself, but Senator Ellsworth as well. They've had a busy session this go-around. Investigating me against the Montana Free Press and also Senator Shelley Vance. The Legislative Audit Division is charged with holding everyone in state government accountable to the taxpayers of Montana and also the people. And they take that nonpartisan job very seriously and professionally. So thank you, Legislative Audit. Second, I would also like to pledge my support, not just now also, but also during the interim, to fully support taking a look at the legislative process, not just the legislative process, but also the executive process and how the entire Capitol works with contracts, with budget, with appropriations, and how we can make that more transparent for the people of Montana. Everything we do up here should be transparent. However, given all the attention on contracts this session, I'm open to any suggestion on how to make that process better. And with that said, I'd like to see the legislative audit, I'm glad to see the legislative audit report fully bring to light all the false allegations that have been thrown. How we got to this point that we're standing out now is astounding. All of these intentionally misleading allegations against me were only ever made by one reporter and in one single news story in the Montana Free Press. That news story was published a week after I sat down for an hour-and-a-half long interrogation by the same reporter who had already made up his mind on what the story was going to be, even though he was wrong about and repeatedly told why he was wrong by the nonpartisan attorney and myself. The Montana Free Press still published the story full of unsourced, untrue legal conclusions, inaccuracies, contradictional claims, and baseless innuendo. The Montana Free Press editors have also now been sitting on a request for retractions and corrections for well over a week. The one news story, and that news story only, was the citation that Senator Shelley Vance gave. She made the motion on the Senate floor to investigate me over these intentionally misleading allegations. As an elected official, I don't expect an apology from the Free Press to me, and I'm not going to hold my breath for an apology from Senator Shelley Vance either. But I will say the Montana Free Press and Senator Vance do need to apologize to the other victims of their actions. Our dedicated, nonpartisan staff who did nothing wrong, but nonetheless were hacked up like crazy in this news story, and the private citizen, Abby Moscatel, who I know to be a person of the highest ethical character and has been baselessly defamed and continues to suffer harassment and reputational harm because of this incident. Calling on the Montana Free Press to immediately and publicly retract all of the wrong information and baseless innuendo that they published. I'm also calling on the Montana Free Press and Shelley Vance to immediately and publicly apologize to the legislature's nonpartisan staff and to Abby Moscatel, a private Montana citizen. I remain committed to rooting out corruption and unethical behavior at the legislature and also in this state government. And I'm going to continue to do that no matter what the retaliation or false allegations are to anyone that tries to shoot me next time. So with that, that is a promise to the people of Montana. That's what I would expect if I was out there, and that's what I'm promising them today.